Lois, there's something I have to tell you. I'm really... I was, at first, really nervous about tonight. But then I decided, well, darn it, I was going to show you the time of your life.
James, pretty remarkable here. This is your second time, at least, I think, proving that people inside of the White House at a high level are saying Joe Biden has zero cognitive capacity, can't complete sentences, and may well be dead. Why haven't they been forthright with the American people about this? This seems like probably the greatest national security threat in America's history.
It is a great national security threat. And one of the great ironies of this is that the guy is a spy. It may be the worst espionage ever. I mean, he's an advisor for the National Security Council in the White House. And he says, quote, "I'm spilling the tea." And I told him when I confronted him, I was like, "You're lucky I'm not a Chinese spy, because this kind of, what type of security operation are they running at the highest levels of the deep state?" I mean, that's really the remarkable thing about it: the lack of professionalism, the lack of class, the inability to exercise discretion, notwithstanding what he said, which is that Biden, quote, "can't complete a sentence." That's not surprising. That doesn't shock you or anybody. But it is surprising that the people closest to him are saying this, which is why you need this type of journalism. You need to expose this. And I think with the incoming administration, with Doge, with Trump coming in, I think there are going to be more opportunities to uproot this type of behavior inside the deep state.
So this individual, last name Apple or Appel? Appel works inside of the National Security Council. He is himself a spy. He's supposed to be very, very good at this. And you were able to pry out of him some of the deepest secrets of the deep state with what looks like an espresso martini and either a Grindr profile or a Bumble profile. Well done.
Yeah, people are speculating, is he gay? Is he not? I mean, some of these things, it's men on men, it's women on men. This is actually a female undercover reporter meeting with him. But I think, Benny, when people are holding on to certain truths that are not what they're telling the world publicly, when there's a big gap between that, this is what happens. People will confide, people will share with someone they think they have confidence with. What's remarkable about this video is that this was like the first meeting. I mean, it wasn't like this long undercover thing. He's just in a restaurant in DC, and that's what makes it so strange. A lot of these people just seem to have, I don't know if it's mental illness or personality disorders, but again, these are the people that are at the highest levels of the United States government, and they're all going to be exposed. So it's kind of video. They always speak. It always speaks for itself. Him there saying that he's going to be dead. He can't complete a sentence, and many other revelations there.
So when he says, you led with that with your post about it, we're going to put your post up right now. Shocking undercover video. Joe Biden is dead. Can you unpack that? For the audience, since we can't play the full video for you, everybody go over to James's page. Obviously, check it out, watch the whole thing. But can you unpack, what do they mean? Do they mean he's totally mentally incapacitated? Is that it?
Right. He's correct. They mean he's just completely, his cognitive abilities. This is not the only official we caught on tape. We're going to release more. But he did same things that we've been saying for the last few months since the debate. And there was a whole period of time, 12 to 24 months leading up to that, where they all knew this, but they kept it secret from everybody. And that's the transgression. That's the immoral thing, that they weren't being honest with people. And he's saying they can't talk. And he gives a specific example, Henry Appel. This is the advisor for the NSC inside the White House. He gives an example where he's on the phone with, this is Henry himself, is on the phone with the president. And the president does not know that the man sitting next, he's asking for somebody who's literally right next to him. And Henry's relaying this story to our intrepid undercover female reporter, and he says the president's dead. He doesn't know what's going on, and that's the anecdote, that this is what he witnessed. This is what he experienced, and he's not the only one. There's another tape we have coming out later today, Benny, of another official also high up who says more or less the same thing.
At what point is this almost, you're nearing treason, like soft treason here, because to keep this from the American people, to not have like a single whistleblower come forward and say, it's time for the 25th Amendment here. Again, for a party that's so obsessed with democracy and defending democracy, this seems like the greatest threat to it.
Yeah, that to me it seems also like you point out. Why can't you just say it publicly? Why do you say it at a table in a restaurant with a stranger? That to me indicates some type of. I'm serious. It indicates
On a first date.
Well,
on a first date, James,
with a stranger. I mean, you won't tell the press this. You won't tell you won't say it to the American people who you have an obligation to constitution. You swore a duty to uphold the Constitution. You won't fulfill that duty, but you will share it with a total stranger, and that indicates some type of psychological issue, some type of personality disorder, mental illness, and that's a problem. That is Benny, a national security issue. And if you're in the deep state, if you're working for these agencies and you exhibit these tendencies, I will find you and I will expose you. So guess what? You might as well just be truthful, be honest, fulfill your duty, do the right thing, because you're going to get found out. That's my message. And I think with the incoming administration, there's an opportunity for more people to blow the whistle. But none of this is surprising, Benny, to your audience, or it's, what he actually said is obviously the case. Perhaps Biden's worse than we thought he was. And I don't know if he's going to make it till January 20th. We shall see.
Wow. So I've lost track, James. By my number, you've at least had 2 White House officials that are in the intelligence department of the White House saying on camera that Joe Biden is mentally incapacitated and is incapable of. And
one of those guys I met with personally, which is its own special type of irony, because how do you work in the White? That'd be like Benny Johnson meeting with Biden's, chief of staff. How do these people not know? Are they that introverted in their own minds that they can't, process reality? These are not competent people, and that's a problem. And we have another one coming out later today. I mean, it's and if you want to be an American, we're calling it the American Swiper program, right? The American Swiper. And we've got, people lining up to wear hidden cameras in the nation's capital in the deep state to expose this sort of thing.
Wow. I mean, I really hope that you continue this process, because given the fact that there is a really large undercurrent, probably the most popular undercurrent in America right now, James, is I'm sick of our federal government and the incompetence of it and the zero value employees that we continue to support. There's a continuing resolution in the House right now that continues to fund all of this stuff, to the great shame of Republicans, big government Republicans. And I think that these kind of videos are even more impactful with this national moment that we're going through, where people are sick of the incompetence from the feds and the lies.
Well, I mean, people are completely upset. There's a market shift in our culture, Benny. I know that I feel that right now. And I think there's an opportunity. I would say we have a window of maybe, this is just my opinion, between 6 and 9 months where things can actually be reformed. I've known you for a long time. I think we've known each other 15 years. I've never felt that before. And I think the fact that things could change because of the shift in the culture, who's in charge, that gives a lot of people hope. It gives me hope. It gives my whistleblowers hope. That means people are going to come forward. They're more likely to come forward. The number one reason they don't come forward, Benny, is because they don't think anything's going to change. Like, well, I'm going to jump on a grenade. I'm going to give up my pension. I'm going to give up my livelihood for nothing. I think the fact that things can change, there might be an exponential 100x to 1000x more people coming forward right now. And I think we have about less than a year. I think we have less than a year. So I'm really excited about that. And of course, you're going to have these idiots in the government who you just saw on tape. Again, I asked him I don't know if you've seen my video where I confronted him. I was wearing a tuxedo because I was in the middle of a gala. And I went over and talked to him. I said, what type of security operation you guys? And remember, there was a third video, Benny, that you mentioned, the CIA guy that we caught in May, who was saying we withheld information from Trump. He's bragging about this to the woman, and then he takes out his CIA security badge. That's the video I confronted him. There it is right there.
We'll play it. James, should we play it? You want to play it? Yeah, this is funny. It's great. We're grabbing the clip right now. We'll pop it up. I mean, this is like the easiest. This is like hunting fish in a barrel for you, dude. It's like doing whack-a-mole at Chuck E. Cheese. You ever seen the whack-a-mole Chuck E. Cheese game? It's like 2-year-olds can do it. It's like unbelievable, like what you've been able to accomplish here. What are some of the soft targets that you're looking at in a Trump administration? Are you going to be I mean, obviously you're not going to give up the ghost, okay, on like where you're at, what operations you have right now, but give me like a landscape for what you'd like to see changed, where you'd like to target in a new Trump administration. A lot of these jackasses are politicals, right? And they'll be out with the morning laundry on January 20. So where are you focused next?
Well, I'm already doing it. I mean, there's two focuses, Benny. The first is people inside the federal government who are whistleblowers, who have evidence of corruption, or, I mean, I won't give you a specific agency, but as you can imagine, whether it's the EPA or the IRS or what have you, people they're losing their minds. So they're scared of being prosecuted for things they may have done wrong. Let's say you work in the IRS and you've targeted someone because of their politics. That's illegal. Now, let's say there was a recording of that or evidence of that. Now you're in trouble. So people who are witness to that in that agency, I want you to come to me, and I will do three things for you. Number one, I'll tell your story. And I think I'm the most qualified person to do that because I've done it before. Number two, I'll protect you legally. I'll pay your legal bills. I'll compensate you if you're targeted. Number three, I think this is the most important thing. I think the heads of these agencies are think of someone like Kash Patel. I haven't spoken to Kash about this, but I think Kash would love to have someone inside the Bureau come forward with wrongdoing. They were witness to something that was illegal and that was unethical. So I think there's an opportunity there, Benny, inside these federal agencies. Also, not to mention DOJ, that wants to clean up this crap.
Of course.
I think there's an opportunity for people to come forward and not lose their jobs, provided they want to keep their job. Many of them do. They just want to do the good work that they're doing. Yes. There's an opportunity for you right here, right now, in the next year. And then, of course, if you are one of the bad guys and you are, thirsty, let's call it you're thirsty, then you're going to meet with one of my undercover people, because the swiper program is growing. Now we have dozens of these people, whether it be gay date or straight date, whatever you want to call it. We don't touch, we don't do anything crossing the line. And we don't need to, because apparently people in the intelligence community like this, they're the worst spies ever. They release all the secrets within 5 minutes. Hey, I work for the CIA. I didn't believe that he worked for the CIA until he took out his CIA Langley badge and showed it to us. Can't make it up, Eddie. Can't make it up.
Yeah, I mean, we were wondering if you were wearing a Groucho Marx mustache and plastic glasses, but you were just James O'Keefe. You went on the Grindr date as James O'Keefe.
Well, I dyed my hair, I'm like brown hair. I dyed my hair blonde and I wore glasses. Not much of a disguise. not too disguised. And then I actually took off my glasses and said, "What are you doing on a meeting?"
So you went on the Grindr date as Benny? James, how dare you? James.
I think my hair was more blonde than yours.
Okay, so we have the clip. James, and then I want a follow-up question about whistleblowers and whistleblower protection, because that's something that has been atomized in this administration, and I want you to sort of sound off on it, where you'd like to see, because there should be protections, obviously, inside of the federal government for whistleblowers and people that are willing to come forward. First, though, here's your confrontation with Mr. Appel.
Henry Appel, National Security Council. Hi,
right.
I'm James O'Keefe, investigative reporter and muckraker. This is you on hidden camera.
Cool.
Hey, you're lucky I'm not a Chinese spy. You are a very lucky man that I'm not a Chinese spy. But I gotta ask you a question. What the hell is the guy who's an advisor to the National Security Council doing, spilling the, quote, tea to an undercover journalist?
Well, here's the tea. Joe Biden is dead. We're trying to fund it.
What type of national security operation you boys running in the United States government?
James.
And you used to be a spy.
For a while, I thought I was going to be a spy.
You thought what?
James, you dirty dog.
And I did that for a little while.
What type of spy are you? So where are you going?
Bro.
So we're here in Washington with the spy who works for the United States government, who's, quote, spilling the tea. Now, this is you talking about Biden being, quote, dead.
Joe Biden is dead. He can't even say a sentence.
These are your words. I'm going to play them for you here.
Joe Biden is
He's dead.
James.
You also tell an anecdote where you're on the phone with the president. He didn't even know that the guy that he was asking for was right next to him?
My boss was on an international trip with him, like in Europe or something. The phone rang in the office, and I picked it up. And I was like, "Oh, Mr. President, Henry." He was like, "He's safe there." He's like, "No, he's traveling with you. He's on the same trip that you are."
And you work for the National Security Council as an advisor, and you're saying all these things to a rando. What if that random person was a Chinese spy? Is that what they teach you in intel school? What do you feel like? You're about to be famous. And by the way, what was it like to cry those tears when Trump won? You said you're concerned about being retaliated against.
There were a lot of tears the next morning.
All right. So everyone can go see this on James's page. But James, one, you look like James Bond here, okay, in the tuxedo. It works perfectly.
Well, thank you.
It's like you actually being the spy. And bro, it's better than punked. It's better than any.
I feel total equilibrium when I do these things. People think it requires some nerve or fearlessness. To me, it's the most comfortable thing because they're caught so dead to rights. There's nothing they can say. It's so incontrovertibly wrong what they've done. But I didn't intend to wear the tux. I was, at a dinner meeting or gala, and I had to excuse myself. Where are you going? I'll be right back. And I literally came back to the gala in time for tea, which I thought was ironic.
The chat loves you in the tux, okay? James Bond, James O'Keefe, they love it. The chat's going nuts for it. We do have also Grindr James here. This is the if you're looking for a Halloween. If you're looking for a Halloween costume, you got Grindr James over here with the vest. He chose to go with the vest.
Like the Joseph A. Bank vest there, yeah.
This is the other one. Can we swipe over? Show the full shot here, please. There we go. This was the other.
That was Henry, who works in the White House, executive office of the White House. He was telling me about how Kamala, again, nothing surprises you, but he said nobody likes her. She can't keep her own black employees employed there. And he was saying all these things that we all know, but it's interesting that the White House guy is telling this to the Grindr date. You know what I mean? Very strange.
So
he went to Harvard Business or Harvard School of Government, and these are not stupid people.
Yeah,
you'd think.
But apparently, they are. I guess there's like the old adage about street smarts, James. And
right.
Okay, got it. You got.
They're book smart, but not street smart.
No,
correct.
That's right. And if you're not street smart, you're going to be confronted by James O'Keefe in a tuxedo in the street, and it's going to be really humiliating. So, James, in closing here, assuade our audience, comfort our audience, and say you're not stopping. And maybe, in fact, are you going to increase your operations in a Trump administration?
Yeah, I think so. I think that the new. I just did my strategic plan for the year after the election, and I think we're going to increase it quite a bit because. So the answer is no. We're not. I never was going to stop. They've tried to stop me. There's a very small club of men, Benny, who've been raided by the FBI, arrested by mugshots all over the front pages, sued 40 times, falsely accused, sometimes by women, and smeared and defamed. And both Trump and I are in that club. There are not many men who are. There are. I mean, Trump takes it at a higher level than me. And the fact that you survive that and you keep going, it gives you a superpower. You're just I'm like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I haven't been shot, knock on wood. I haven't been through that. But I will say to you that with the incoming administration and the people who are in charge of these agencies, I think that truth tellers, whistleblowers, people that want to go record undercover, they're going to be empowered to do so because of the capacity for reform. That's the thing that we can actually change things. And I actually believe that. I never did before. I actually believe that things might actually be reformed. That's why OMG and we have Citizen Journalism Foundation to protect the whistleblowers is going to grow 10x in the next 3 months.
That's it's unbelievably exciting, James. And it's obviously the reason why we support your work so very much and why you should support James, and why also Grok apparently supports your work. While we were live here, we asked AI to make an image of you as James Bond.
No way.
And these were the results, James. So this is you as James Bond.
I think I look better in real life than that, but I guess that's okay. What type of
Let's
camera? Is
see.
it a GoPro?
Okay, those are slightly too big. Those cameras are slightly too big.
Those are strange looking cameras there.
Slightly too big. Cool watch though. I mean, it's a kick-ass watch.
The watch. Be careful of the watch. Be careful of the watch. Those have cameras in them sometimes. But we have cameras in everything, and I'm very excited about the future, Benny. And I'm grateful to know you, and thank you for sharing this with everybody. And if you want to be an American Swiper, go to our website, o'keefemediagroup.com. If you want to be a whistleblower, if you work in the agencies, and I know some of you do, reach out to me on Signal. It's in my profile.
It is in your profile. Here's the actual website right here. Let's shout out the URL, please.
o'keefemediagroup.com.
And then James's X profile, please. James's X profile is where you can find the Signal.
It's at James O'Keefe III, and you see it there. The number is in there. We've already had 3 federal government employees reach out to me in the last 24 hours, Benny. That's very excited about this program. And we have Citizen Journalism Foundation, tax-deductible nonprofit organization. And, Benny, what people may care most about, I'm in Phoenix for this event and for a Turning Point, and they say, "Where's the party, James?" We are having a party Friday night. We're calling it Make America Rave Again, okay? Nobody can party like we can. Make America Rave Again. I'm going to be on the turntables. I'm actually going to be DJing Friday night. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, you can come. The party is for anybody who got fired because of the vax, jailed, or raided. We're partying. Why? James, why do you dance? Why do you sing? Well, it's better than doing drugs, okay? You've been through the trauma that we've been through. I dance, I sing. It's something we're all going to have a cathartic experience. It's called Make America Rave Again this Friday night, Phoenix, Arizona.
The dancing and the singing is an essential part of your Grindr profile. And everyone knows it. How do you think James is able to score these hot dates with CIA agents and White House security staff? James, Godspeed, man. Amazing, amazing work. We'll be here at your side to support everything that you are doing. And here's, by the way, the information on James's. Here's the information on James's party. If you are at America Fest in Arizona, we'll be heading out tomorrow for that.
There's the dancing. There's the Michael Jackson, Benny. You know what I mean? There it is. The Beat It.
Also probably in the Grindr profile. All right, James. That's enough of that. It's Christmas time here, buddy.
All right, Benny.
We say thank you. We're thankful for you. And a Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Merry Christmas, Benny. See you soon.
See ya.